the third generation officer in the Indian Army.
इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस में क्या क्या करियर ऑप्शंस होते हैं?
I would say it's an ocean of opportunities for the young aspirants. SSB is your service selection board, wherein you undergo series of tests. Generally what happens that people follow these coachings and take guidance. There are multiple career options for women.
जैसे हम यूजुअली फिल्मों में या टीवी में देखते हैं, क्या उतनी ही चैलेंजिंग, उतनी हार्डशिप वाली लाइफ होती है?
ना हम फिल्मों में देखते हैं उससे शायद 100 times ज़्यादा ही है.
ज़्यादा होती है.
Yes. It is going to be a job of physical fitness, your mental strength, your resilience.
नमस्कार, स्वागत है आपका KRMU टाइम्स में. मेरा नाम है प्रोफेसर अमित चावला और आज SJMC के स्टूडियो में हमारे साथ हैं लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल विजय चौधरी जी. आज के करियर कंपास सेगमेंट में हमें आज वो इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के बारे में, विभिन्न करियर ऑप्शंस के बारे में बताएंगे. और बिना देरी किए मैं आज वेलकम करना चाहूँगा सर का. नमस्कार सर.
Thank you, नमस्कार डॉक्टर अमित, and thank you for inviting me here for this podcast. It's an opportunity for me and I'm really honored.
Thank you so much sir for sparing some valuable time of yours to come here to the SJMC studio today and talking to our audience for the career segment.
Thank you.
सर, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप हमारे ऑडियंस को एक छोटा सा ब्रीफ इंट्रो दें अपने बारे में, अपने करियर जर्नी के बारे में.
All right. So, Dr. Amit, I am the third generation officer in the Indian Army. My grandfather, he was a freedom fighter. He was in British Army and he fought with the Japanese and Burmese during the Second World War. And later he formed up with Subhash Chandra Bose in Singapore and came to India for the Indian freedom struggle. And he fought for the 1947 war. Later he was awarded with the Tampatra, which is the highest gallantry award from the government of India.
Super.
And my father, he served in army. He was into health department, so he served as a senior health superintendent. And subsequently, they are the one who motivated me and who made a way for me to get into the armed forces. So I had joined long back in 2000, and I have completed good about 24 years and 6 months of service in the Indian Army. So having said so, must inform that I have done 2 special forces tenure, which include one your special action group, 51 special action group, and Black Hat Commandos, and secondly is your special frontier force, which is another secret organization of the Indian Army.
Such a long journey and such an intriguing one. I'm sure हमारे जो ऑडियंस है वो आपकी जर्नी के बारे में और जानना चाहेंगे. आपने बताया लगभग 24 साल आपने इंडियन आर्मी में सर्व किया है और कई अलग अलग तरीके की भूमिकाएं उसमें निभाई हैं. तो मैं आपके इस सफ़र की चुनौतियां क्या रही, उनके कुछ यादगार पल क्या रहे, उनके बारे में ज़रूर जानना चाहूँगा सर.
So long back, as I started in 2000, I was just 17-18 years old, and the challenges started. The first challenge came as the moment I joined the training. So I was shocked because it was a cultural shift for me. But then I remembered the only word by my mother. She said कि that वापस मत आना. और also she highlighted कि मेरा दूध मत ला जाना अगर वापस आ गया तो.
अरे वाह.
That was the force behind me which let me always kept on going. And it was just I would say a few words of her which kept things moving, and the challenges kept on coming and I kept on going. So I started long back, and my tenures mostly comprises of field tenures. I have mostly been into field in J&K and Northeast, and very sparingly I have been into peace locations. You can say that the family time, and this involves your high altitude tenures, your glaciated tenures, then tenures from the Northeast, which are again mountainous, rugged terrain tenures. So, but then yes, overall it has been a wonderful and I would say pleasant journey for me.
Interesting sir. सर, ये जो प्रोग्राम है ज़्यादातर हमारे यंग एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए है, पीपल हु वांट टू मेक देयर करियर इन डिफेंस. सो मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि उन लोगों के लिए जो करियर अपना बनाना चाहते हैं, द यंग एस्पिरेंट्स ऑफ आवर नेशन, उनके लिए इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस में क्या क्या करियर ऑप्शंस होते हैं?
So when we come to the career options in the defense forces, so I would say it's an ocean of opportunities for the young aspirants. So be it Army, Navy, Air Force, so there are multiple career options one can opt for. So starting from you can say the army. So army may we have soldiers, and in soldiers also we have 3 wings like soldier general duty, soldier technical, and soldier clerk. So which are generally your 10th based and 12th based entries, and on the same lines in the navy as well. So it is again 10+2 entry, which is again technical and non-technical. And coming into air force, it is purely technical, which is your physics, chemistry, and mathematics background in +2.
So basically eligibility criteria vary करेंगे
for troops. For
Okay.
troops.
All
And
right.
for officers, for the army, it is your NDA and CDS. Similarly, for Navy, it is the INET, and for Air Force, it is FCAT, apart from NDA.
सो सर, ये आपने बहुत सारे एग्ज़ाम्स के बारे में हमें बताया, मतलब जो आपने नाम लिए, आई एम वेरी श्योर इनमें से कई नाम बच्चों ने सुने होंगे। मगर अगर कोई एंट्री लेवल पे इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस में एंट्री लेना चाहता है और किसी एग्ज़ाम की प्रिपरेशन करना चाहता है, तो आप क्या सजेस्ट करेंगे कि किस तरीके के एग्ज़ाम की प्रिपरेशन और कैसे करनी चाहिए उसको?
सो फर्स्टली जो हम बात कर रहे थे एक जवान के लिए, तो उसमें जनरली द एंट्रीज आर क्लियर। अगर वो टेक्निकल में जा रहे हैं तो उनको फर्स्टली दे हैव टू हैव 10+2 फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री मैथमेटिक्स बैकग्राउंड। तो उसमें जनरली द क्वेश्चंस एंड द टेस्ट आर फ्रेम्ड इनटू द एलिमेंट्री लेवल्स ओनली। So the first and the foremost, if we talk about army, so army में 10 there is an entry after 10th only, and which is a journal entry, journal duty entry, which is not very difficult. The sequence of you can say test is followed by your written examination. Once you have cleared your written examination, then you will be called upon for your physical examination, and once you have done your physical examination clearly, then you will be sent for your medical examination. So once you are through, you will be called for your, you can say, taken.
सर, एक तरीका सर्विस सिलेक्शन बोर्ड में जाके भी होता है, उसकी तैयारी करने के कुछ
So that's
तरीके
very
बताइए।
interesting, and that comes especially for the officer cadre.
जी।
So SSB is your service selection board. So it's a 5-day very comprehensive process wherein you undergo series of tests. The first we say is the psychology test, then is your group discussion, group panels, and then followed by your round of interviews. And in psychology test, there is first one we call it the word association test. Then second one is your thematic appreciation test.
तो सर, कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस या इंस्टीट्यूशंस भी होते हैं जो इन टेस्ट के लिए प्रिपेयर करवाते हैं?
So there are multiple agencies which are running you can say career courses. They are preparing you for such kind of examinations. But then overall, when it comes to selection, so it would be that you have your honest discretion, and you maintain what you are, your strength and weaknesses. You know that, and you are able to highlight that, and you are able to work upon that. So that is more welcoming in terms of the selection. So generally what happens that people follow these coachings and take guidance, but then these are not very good in a longer way, because you tend to hide your actuals, and you overcome it by learning few practices later, which become difficult for you, for organization also. When your actual comes out, so it may not be in sync with what is required.
इंटरेस्टिंग पीस ऑफ एडवाइस। आई एम वेरी श्योर ये हमारे जो एस्पिरेंट्स हैं वो ज़रूर सुन रहे होंगे। कुछ एस्पिरेंट्स ये मानते हैं कि डिफेंस फोर्सेस आर ओनली फॉर मेन, जबकि आजकल बहुत सारे करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ विमेन के लिए भी आई हुई हैं। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप उस पर भी थोड़ा सा एक लाइट डालें कि विमेन के लिए इंडियन डिफेंस फोर्सेस में क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हो सकती हैं।
So with the recent policies, and we have revised I would say decisions here, and which are now more forthcoming towards women. अभी आने वाले समय में the defense has become more gender inclusive, and इसमें women entries हमने काफ़ी involve किए हैं. As far as the career options are concerned, I would say there are multiple career options for women, be it your logistic, be it your infrastructure, be it your engineering, be it your architect, or there are multiple other options. It's an ocean of opportunities for women as well. And as you have highlighted, so there is a challenge for women in some particular roles, but then yes, they are doing very well.
So is the life in defense very challenging? Is it so much full of hardships जैसे हम यूजुअली फिल्मों में या टीवी में देखते हैं? क्या उतनी ही चैलेंजिंग, उतनी हार्डशिप वाली लाइफ होती है?
I would say जितना हम फिल्मों में देखते हैं उससे शायद 100 times ज़्यादा ही है.
ज़्यादा होती है?
Yes. And it is the training which teaches you the work, and you can say to balance these stressful situations and these challenges. So over a period of time with the training, you tend to develop skills to overcome these challenges, and life becomes easy after that. So as far as you have said that, is it so very challenging? Yes. Firstly, it is difficult to maintain that work and life balance which you are able to achieve outside. Secondly, there is a prolonged separation from the family, which in turn, which turns out to be a stressful situation, and it affects your decision making in a longer run. So but then as you continue to go, as you continue to take yourself forward, you try to learn, and you overcome those challenges into day-to-day routine, so it becomes easy for you to go.
Okay. What about the career growth options? So life is challenging. We know that we have learned about कि क्या क्या हम हमें पढ़ना चाहिए, क्या क्या हमें skills आने चाहिए, physical fitness, mental health, वो सब ठीक है. क्या एक बार हम लोग जब Indian Armed Forces में entry ले लेते हैं, how much of career growth options within the Indian Armed Forces are available?
So career, as far as career is concerned, so there are various options, and you have promotional avenues. But then Army being a very structured organization, so things are in a very disciplined and structured way that you have to achieve. So there are assessments, there are tests, there are competitive exams. So in progression, if you continue to follow and you keep undergoing your assessments, and if you keep going your tests and all, so probabilities are all there for you to get promoted and reach the higher ups. So it is well defined.
Interesting. So sir, this is a very nice piece of information for my listeners and my audience here. Now I would like to ask you a very important question here. Yes, security, safety, one has to keep it on a back burner. But how internally satisfying can this career be? And also, after you are through with your service career, do the army men get enough of opportunities outside?
So yes, I would say that first thing first. So when you serve in the forces, there is a sense of pride which comes in, and which keeps you going. That sense of belongingness, and I would say that sense of your nationalism. So this is certainly a difference which gives you some kind of hope and way to look forward, because otherwise it's a mundane thing. Every day you go for your job and you do your task and you manage your goals and you come back, and then again you are ready for the same challenge again next day. But here in defense forces it is absolutely different. You wake up with a new challenge every day, and it is, as I would say, forthcoming as welcoming. It gives you that sense of accomplishment at the end of the day, that
absolutely,
yes, you have done something, and invariably you are directly involved in the national security, which gives you again that sense of pride within you. And as you go out, you meet people, so that sense of respect that you get, so this is I would say very welcoming and very accomplishing. So with that, I think that that gives you all the more to continue working for the forces. And yes, as you said that what are the prospects after the army? I would say prospects, again, it's an ocean which opens up for you, because having gone through those core values, core skills, I would say those characteristics which you imbibe during the forces, so that help you gradually go and get attuned to the civil environment. As you go out, so the options are multiple. What you have learnt here, you can imbibe it in the outside culture. So let be it security, be it your entrepreneurship, be it your you can say logistic, be it your technical engineering. So you name a stream and it is an ocean available to you for you to get absorbed outside, provided you align with your particular role in terms of your that core values that you have learned, number of courses that you have done, skills that you have attained over a period of time. So get aligned those courses, skills, and your you can say learning curves, and you take it and align it with the job that you are looking for.
So that is very interesting and very encouraging piece of news for all our listeners. I'm very sure they would be taking their notes from the session, and I'm very sure you are already inspiring a lot of listeners and our audience,
Thanks so much.
of the KRMU Times. Sir, मुझे ये बताइएगा कि आप अगर फ्यूचर देखें डिफेंस फोर्सेस का, अपने इंडियन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस का, how do you see the future of Indian armed forces?
So I would say future is bright. And with the new policies coming in, especially Atmanirbhar Bharat, and wherein we are talking about the defense modernization with defense production, lot of new defense startups are coming into place. So these defense startups, they are giving a lot of scope for future. So now we see that AI is coming into place now. So with AI, we find it to be more analytical in approach and more involved decision making. Though there is going to be certainly a difference into the actual intelligence and you can say that artificial intelligence. So someone sometimes someone told me, it's a great learned professor. So he asked me that what is the difference between AI and I? If I may ask you, I know it is not a plan though. So if I may ask you, if you can just quickly highlight, and then I'll bring out the fact, and we'll continue on this.
If I say I intelligence, it's non-machine learning, according to my understanding. Maybe it's very limited, but yeah,
Yes.
artificial. It's generated by machines. It's based on some logics, some artificial logarithms.
Okay. So I'll just quickly summarize it. So when we say AI, so AI is specific to, you can say that ability to understand the difference between the patterns, the set patterns, or you say data. The ability to understand difference in patterns in data. And what is I? I is you and me. We sitting together. We are I. So what AI is just what we have fed. But then actual, you can say it is today me and you at this moment what decision I take with my intelligence. So that counts.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Very.
So now coming back to your future of defense. So as I mentioned that AI coming into place, then robotics coming into place, and with a lot of giving leverage to the technical aspects. So there is a modernization which is we are seeing, which is forthcoming. So with that, lot of setups are coming, defense startups are coming. So people have options of getting into various multiple domains, specifically related to their own individual capabilities. So yes, I would say there is a lot of growth prospect.
Interesting. Sir, some time back there was a row about the newly launched Agniveer Yojana. अग्निवीर योजना पे लोगों को शायद क्लैरिटी नहीं है. मैं चाहूँगा कि इस प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से आप हमारे ऑडियंस को थोड़ा सा बताएं कि अग्निवीर योजना क्या है, उनके लिए कितनी अच्छी है, ज़रूरी है या नहीं है.
So what happens that in Agniveer, you are absorbed for a period of 4 years initially. So this 4 years, generally your 1.5 year goes into your training, and then you get embedded. Out of this, 25% will be held back based on their potential capabilities and their learning efforts, and the balance who are not absorbed, so they are given firstly good schemes, and they are given a good handsome amount also for them to settle down. And at the same time there is a vacancy of good about 10% of reservation in all the defense you can say defense services, not only defense, the paramilitary as well, including the central government and the state government you can say job portals. So they are given reservation for 10%, which generally you will not get.
So interesting, very interesting perspective, I must say. So before we wrap up, any final piece of advice that you would like to give to the audience of KRMU Times? I'm very sure they are listening very carefully to you. आप उनको क्या advice देना चाहेंगे?
So I would recommend that any aspirants who are looking forward to join the defense forces, so since we know that it is going to be a job of physical fitness, your mental strength, your resilience, your adaptability, on you can say that stress management. So you need to learn and you need to work upon all your strengths and weaknesses after identifying them. At the same time you need to be with time. You need to be with the pace with your peers. You must be knowing that in your surroundings people are already into some kind of portfolios. They are working on it. They are learning. So there is something called peer learning also. You can learn from your peer also. And yes, there is a kind of ocean of opportunities which is there in the forces, and which gives you some sense of accomplishment and pride towards the end of everything. And you are welcomed when you come outside.
सो ये थे हमारे साथ लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल विजय चौधरी सर. सर थैंक यू सो मच. आज जो आपने अपने एक्सपर्टीज़ जो शेयर की है हमारे ऑडियंस से, ये बहुत ही इंट्रीगिंग थी, बहुत ही ऐसी नॉलेज थी जो हम चाहेंगे हमारे सारे लिसनर्स ना सिर्फ देखें सुने, शेयर भी करें आगे और उसके हिसाब से अपना करियर बनाएं. आपने आज हमारे साथ यहाँ पे टाइम स्पेंड किया, उसका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. हम चाहेंगे कि आप फिर कभी दोबारा आएँ और हम अपने ऑडियंस से भी ये कहेंगे कि आपके अगर इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस से रिलेटेड कोई भी और क्वेश्चंस हों तो हमें आप लिख सकते हैं, नीचे दिया गया है ईमेल आईडी जिस पे आप हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। इसी के साथ इस एपिसोड की यहाँ पे हम समाप्ति करेंगे। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस।